Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Hayward on plans to skip OTAs for first time. I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but we'll see what happens. There will be a very noticeable 6'5", 295-pound absence at the Pittsburgh Steelers' organized team activities next week. Six-time Pro Bowl defensive lineman Hayward plans to miss the Steelers' voluntary OTAs for the first time as he enters the last season of his current contract. I have always attended these, but at this time, it's just contract negotiations, Hayward said on his Not Just Football podcast, which dropped on Thursday morning. You know, I want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, but we'll see what happens. Hayward, who's set to make $16 million in 2024, was responding to and confirming a report from ESPN that he would not attend OTAs, which begin Tuesday and carry on through June 6 with 10 total sessions. Pittsburgh's mandatory minicamp takes place from June 11 to 13. First of all, it's voluntary, let's get that straight, Hayward said of OTAs. I'm working out, I'm doing everything but going to OTAs. Hayward will not be subject to any fines with OTAs, as he mentioned, being voluntary, but if he chooses to skip mandatory minicamp, the Steelers could elect to penalize him financially for his absence at the juncture. The reigning Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year is a renowned leader in the Steelers' locker room who's a 7-time team captain, along with being a 3-time All-Pro talent on the field. The durable DT dealt with a groin injury last season that forced him to miss 6 games, his first elongated absence from playing since 2016. Following that 2016 season, Hayward ran off 6 straight Pro Bowl campaigns, a run that ended in 2023. Coming off an injury and heading into his age 35 season, it makes sense that Hayward wants to get one more big contract. He inked a 4-year, $65.6 million extension in 2020, but times have changed drastically. Hayward's $16.40 annual average salary is just inside the top 20 among interior defensive linemen. Hayward clearly wants to stay put in Pittsburgh, but he just as clearly wants to be taken care of, and missing OTAs for the first time is his initial move off the line of negotiations. You gotta do what's right for you, he said. I'm training hard. It's nothing I'm not doing on and off the field. I'm doing everything possible. We'll get there when we get there. As the spring carries on, we shall see if the NFL's best man gets paid among the league's elite defensive linemen. Would Michael Thomas fix Steelers' WR core? With new Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith coming on board to try and help the team's quarterback situation, they hope to see much better offensive play across the board, and that means that another weapon could help the entire offense out significantly. But who makes any sense for the team to fit into that mold? It could be Michael Thomas that makes sense. Brad Spielberger of PFF now projected the type of contract that Thomas would command, stating that a 1-year prove-it deal would likely cost $6 million. But with some of the contracts going around now, there would be a real chance that it could come in at even less than that. And former Steelers linebacker Arthur Moats wants to see them land him, too. This is another better scenario for him, Moats said. He's not dealing with end of Drew Brees, Sean Payton leaving, you got Taysom Hill there saying is he your quarterback, and you're often injured. I get it. Now, we going to pay you cheap and we are going to see if you can get back to what you were once viewed as in this league. I look at it like that. Now, he's cheap, but proven, and the other receivers in that room are going to want to show they're nicer than Michael Thomas. Thomas was released by the Saints in March, even after restructuring his contract in 2023. He was only set to make $1.21 million in base salary and a $2.2 million roster bonus. Thomas caught 39 of 60 targets for 448 yards and 1 touchdown last season. Thomas could come far cheaper than a player of his caliber normally would come given his injury history. He missed a lot of time with an ankle injury and has yet to regain his form as a top NFL wide receiver at this stage in his NFL career. But what Thomas can do is out there and known to the Steelers and other teams. Still, it's unlikely he will command a ton of money to land him on the perfect team for his resurgence. Regardless of Thomas's market, the Steelers could be an interesting fit for such a talent after the team missed just one recorder on the slot. If they add Thomas to the receiving core to join George Pickens and Roman Wilson, they could help stabilize the group by adding Thomas. Thomas is supremely talented, a two-time first-team All-Pro and a three-time Pro Bowler. He led the NFL in receptions twice, yards once, and was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 2019. But the issue? It is those injuries. Thomas hasn't played a full season of football since 2019. He missed time with a high ankle sprain in 2020, missed all of 2021 after ankle surgery, all but 3 weeks of 2022 with a foot injury, and 7 games last year with a knee injury. He also got into a fight with a teammate in 2020 and was arrested for battery in 2023. Should Titans trade Treylon Burks to Steelers? Speculation about the Tennessee Titans trading Treylon Burks has been around all offseason long, and that discussion has only heated up since the team added wide receivers Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd in free agency. Burks has been a major disappointment over 2 years in the NFL. Not only has he struggled with injuries, but he also simply hasn't produced much when on the field. Making his issues more glaring is the fact that he was drafted to replace A.J. Brown after Tennessee foolishly traded him away. With DeAndre Hopkins, Ridley, and Boyd slated to be the Titans' top 3 receivers, Burks is facing a tall task in getting his career on track in 2024. Knowing that, ESPN's Bill Barnwell believes the Titans should trade the Arkansas product to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He doesn't list a return for Tennessee in the deal, though. While it's not outlandish to think the Titans could trade the former first-round pick, it simply wouldn't be worth it for them, outside of getting a solid return, like a mid-round pick. Now, that's not to say Burks could even fetch that much in a trade, but it would make more sense to hold on to him as depth rather than trading him away for a late-round pick, which is a far more likely return. The Titans have had no shortage of injuries in recent years, and all 3 of the aforementioned receivers are either over 30 or about to hit it later this year. Barring a strong offer, Tennessee is better served keeping Burks' depth with the hope he can improve his stock to either show he's a long-term solution or garner a better return in a trade down the road. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Treylon Burks? Leave your opinion in the comments.